I grew up in Canada, okay? We have socialized medicine. I'm here to tell you that this bullshit line that you get on all of the political shows from people is that it's a failure. We have to say yes to socialism, to the word and everything.
Jim Carrey says Americans need to say yes to socialism. But what does socialism mean to him? I'm Anders Hagstrom, and these are the facts. Conversations about socialism in America usually go like this. A liberal says we should be socialist. A conservative points to Venezuela and says socialism doesn't work. The liberal says, what about Sweden and Norway? And then the conservative points out that those countries aren't actually socialist. But giving liberals the benefit of the doubt, maybe what they want isn't true socialism, they just want what the Nordic countries have. Then the question becomes, can the US have that? The answer is no. Nordic countries have tiny populations of less than 10 million, and copy-pasting their policies to a nation of 330 million just isn't going to work. Also, Nordic countries were successful long before they adopted the redistributive policies that they have now. And while Norwegians tend to be pretty successful when they stay in Norway, they tend to make an even better life for themselves if they come to the US. But the fundamental reality is that the policies of true socialists like Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez go beyond what the Nordic countries have.
I am not the expert on geopolitics on this issue.
Bernie Sanders wants a planned economy. None of the Nordic states have that. Ocasio-Cortez wants to abolish profit. None of the Nordic states have done that. They both want a universal minimum wage, but none of the Nordic states have that. No, the only countries that have done those things are the very same countries that conservatives pointed to in the first place: Venezuela, Cuba, and the former Soviet Union. In every place we've seen the policies that Bernie Sanders and Ocasio-Cortez advocate put in place, it starts out with giving people free stuff, and it ends with crushed freedoms and dead citizens.
So what is democratic socialism?
What is democratic socialism?
What is that? What is democratic socialism?
It's the researchers and scientists paid with our taxes.
And the men and women of our armed forces.
The same arguments they're using right now created the Gulag Archipelago in Russia, the concentration camps in North Korea, and even now, the burning of Bibles and the persecution of religion in China. If Democrats want socialism, that's the legacy they're adopting. And if Jim Carrey thinks they shouldn't have to apologize for that, he either doesn't know history or he's purposely ignoring it. And now let's go to some of your comments from last week's video about Kavanaugh's hearing.
He's got bad hearing. He needs hearing aids.
He cannot hear! Now let's go to some of your comments from last week's video about Brett Kavanaugh's Senate hearing. Is that better? Margaret Engel says they should use stun guns on those people. Suzanne Gallagher says they should stream the hearings live but without an audience. The interruptions take away from the importance of the interviews. I think, honestly, they should just take TV cameras out of Senate hearings. If a protester screams and there's no cameras to record it, did it really make a sound? Petty Kane says, yes, you are naive. Tires collect water and water promotes mosquito growth. LOL. Just having all those tires would be a health problem for mosquitoes. Why do tires attract mosquitoes? Wrecked. I'm obliterated. I'm from Minnesota and I apparently don't know anything about mosquitoes. You wouldn't believe how many people I got an email about it. Some guy explaining to me, this is actually why why mosquitoes grow in tires. Like, I stepped on a landmine when I said that about mosquitoes. It was bad. Tires accumulate stagnant water that leads to having female mosquitoes laying eggs, hatching larvae, circle of life. Also, this stagnant water accumulation takes place during the rainy season. Oh, he supplied pictures. It's a picture of a tire with water in it. All right, I stand corrected. I know where mosquitoes come from. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like our page here at the DCNF Presents the Facts, and our friends over at American Voices and the Daily Caller. And you can like my page right there. Shameless self-promotion!